Welcome to Sideline Sports, where we give you an up-close and personal look at the teams, coaches, and athletes that make up the South Sound. Here's your host, Jeff Slakey.
Hi, welcome to another great episode of Sideline Sports. This week, conference battle brews between Capital and Peninsula. Shelton football hit the road to Timberline. North Mason volleyball hosting North Kitsap. And our game of the week is Shelton football hosting Gig Harbor.
This portion is being brought to you in part by
Mason General Hospital, United Community, Empowered People, Exceptional Health. It was a fun conference battle between two tough teams, with Capital hosting Peninsula.
A big crowd was on hand at Ingersoll Stadium Friday night for Capital football hosting Peninsula. The Seahawks got on the board first 5 minutes into the first quarter when quarterback Burt Griffin found Alex Belote in the end zone for a 17-yard touchdown. Peninsula running back Michael Foreman made it 14-0 Seahawks, breaking free on a 69-yard touchdown run on the last play of the first quarter. Capital would respond when quarterback Grant Erickson found Jack Collard in the end zone for a 7-yard score, cutting the lead to 14-6. Peninsula would rebuttal with a drive down the field, ending in a 6-yard touchdown catch by Chase Whitmers, putting Peninsula up 21-6 at halftime. After a scoreless third quarter, Peninsula would put the nail in the coffin with 3 minutes left when quarterback Burt Griffin found Chase Whitmers in the end zone for the 6-yard score. The Seahawks would knock off the Cougars 28-6 for their fourth victory in a row. Quarterback Burt Griffin finished with 3 touchdown passes for Peninsula, while receiver Chase Whitmers hauled in 2. Peninsula are back in action hosting North Thurston next Friday, while Capital hit the road to Central Kitsap. I'm Sean Wells for iFiber One Sports.
Sideline Sports is being brought to you in part by
The Gillis Auto Center. At Gillis, you're covered forever. The High Climbers were looking for their first victory of the season on the road at top-ranked Timberline.
It was a South Sound Conference battle Thursday night between the undefeated Timberline Blazers and the Shelton High Climbers. The Blazers jumped out to a quick lead in the first quarter when Michael Barnes found the end zone on a 3-yard scamper. The Blazers would add 2 more scores in the quarter, leading 21-0 after the first. Timberline would keep things rolling in the second quarter with a 25-yard pump block return for a touchdown and a Rico Spinger 2-yard scoring run in a span of just 30 seconds. The Blazers would add 2 more touchdowns in the quarter, leading 49-0 at halftime. Timberline would add another touchdown and 2 field goals in the second half as they went on to knock off the High Climbers 62-0. Both Michael Barnes and Rico Spinger finished with 2 touchdowns each for the Blazers. Shelton will look to regroup when they host Gig Harbor next Friday. Timberline will stay at home hosting Yelm. I'm Sean Wells for iFiber One Sports.
Sideline Sports is being brought to you in part by
North Mason volleyball looking to pull the upset against first-place North Kitsap.
The North Mason Bulldogs hosted first-place North Kitsap in Olympic League action Tuesday night. The Vikings got things going early, running out to a 19-10 lead on their way to taking the first set 25-11. North Kitsap would start out strong again in the second set with a 15-2 advantage, winning 25-5. Behind strong play from freshman Riley Rabideau and senior Ray Rosenquist, the Vikings will go on to win the third game 25-11, sweeping the Bulldogs in 3 straight sets. The Vikings at 5-0 in conference play sit atop the Olympic League standings, while North Mason at 2-3 sit in 5th place. The Bulldogs are back on the court Thursday night at Port Angeles. I'm Sean Wells for iFiber One Sports.
Checking the scoreboard in football: Yelm 42, North Thurston 12, Tumwater 48, Steilacoom 12, Olympic 35, North Mason 21. In soccer, Port Angeles 3, North Mason 2, Tumwater 2, Centralia 1, and North Thurston 7, Shelton 0. In volleyball, Capital 3, Shelton 0, Timberline 3, Central Kitsap 1, and Gig Harbor 3, North Thurston 0. Our game of the week is Shelton football hosting Gig Harbor. Shelton coming off a tough defeat, falling to Timberline 62-0. Gig Harbor coming off a nice home victory over Central Kitsap 39-13. Gig Harbor got the better of Shelton when the two teams met last year, 38-21. Be sure to watch the game live Friday night in HD on iFiber1newsradio.com or listen on 103.3 FM and 1030 AM. Upcoming games on the schedule: Timberline versus Yelm in football, North Thurston at Peninsula, and Capital at Central Kitsap. In soccer, it's Capital versus Shelton, North Thurston at Timberline, and Tumwater versus Aberdeen. In volleyball, Tumwater at Rochester, Olympia at Curtis, and Shelton at North Thurston. This has been another presentation of Sideline Sports. I'm Jeff Slakey.